join me there. Okay, how is that? So I'm on my personal page and I'm a little bit weird there, but I'm gonna log off of this one here and see if you guys can see me there. Let me know if that's any better. Lori, I see that you're watching. Can you let me know if can you let me know, bring them on camera. Can you let me know if you guys can see me now? Judith, can somebody just tell me? Better. Okay, great. So I'm gonna end the other broadcast and we're gonna use this one. Okay, yay, here we go, restart. We shall not be defeated. We're gonna get this done. So good morning again and welcome to Supercharged Manifesting. Now I'm gonna have to really speed up my talking because we have the same amount of time. My name is Tasha Chen and every Monday morning we jump on and we talk about how to manifest the things that we want to create in our life. And I was saying that around this conversation every Monday, we always talk about, manifesting in the context of here are the things that you do to get the things you want in life. And I was asking a near and dear friend who I know is watching this morning to give me some input on a product that we're getting ready to create. And when she replied and said, the number one thing I want are some, business tools and tips, I thought, wow, I need to really clarify that the things that I share here every Monday morning are the exact things that I use in my business to grow, expand, and let me tell you what that looks like. These manifesting tips, they're not just for great parking spots. It literally is the stuff that I do to anywhere for 4 years in business. We're going into our 5th year. The least amount that my business has grown is ×2. Actually, of the 4.5 years, we've quadrupled our revenue every year using the stuff that I get on here and talk about. How to create a list of things that I want, how to be grateful, how to take inspired action, right? And today, the topic that I wanted to talk to you guys about is what is my number one business success tool? And it is asking. So I want you to understand that when it comes to manifesting, like step number one is to ask for what you want. And we call it in our community an intention, setting an intention. But in essence, I want you to, dummy it down to just real basic. Well, let me think about what I want and let me ask it. And I was thinking, why don't most people ask for what they want? Like, what would stop you from asking for what you want? And truthfully, when I watch the people that come into our community, or even those that aren't yet in our community, and I look at what's missing, I can tell you right off the bat, step number one is they're not yet clear on what they want, and they don't have whatever is stopping them from asking. They don't have it yet. Sometimes it's courage, sometimes it's lack of clarity, sometimes it's fear. But I wanna address that today before I encourage you to ask this week, right? I wanna address that. Let's talk about what would make you not ask. And let's assume that the majority of why you're not asking is one of two things: lack of clarity and fear. And so let's just talk to the elephant in the room. What gave me the most comfort in asking? It's like if you observe kids, and we use children as an example in the sales conversation a lot, they have no fear in asking. And so I want us to be bold in asking for what we want. But for you to have the courage, the faith, and the belief to ask, I want you to understand how this all works, like why you need not ever worry about asking. So here's the thing. In the study that we do, the stuff that gives me the knowledge and the understanding, that gives me the confidence to ask for 4 times my revenue in the next year, is this. The source from which all the things that you want come, literally, whatever your definition of this, is God. It is God, the universe, source, wanting to have that experience through you. As Rumi says, that which you seek also seeks you. And so you need not the language, the exact wording, and I'm not sure where my book went. Oh, here it goes, because I wanted to read exactly for you guys. I didn't want to paraphrase. It says, you need not hesitate about asking largely. It is your Father's pleasure to give you the kingdom. Original substance. And let's like, I know that's very maybe religious sounding to most of you, so let's just put it in whatever context works for you. I believe in God, and so when I read this, I for me it resonates. I know that I was created by God. I'm created in His image, and literally it is saying the source, God, the universe, the energy that created me is saying, you don't need to hesitate about asking me for anything that you want, big or small. There's nothing too large. My God, it created the heavens and the earth, the ocean, the trees, all the animals on this planet. Like, there is nothing I could possibly think of that could be too large to ask for, right? And so it's like, I have permission to ask for anything. You need not hesitate to ask largely. And then it says, original substance wants to live all that is possible in you and wants you to have all that you can use for the living of the most abundant life. When you are able to fix your consciousness on this truth, when you get to the place where you can believe that, the desire you feel for the possession of riches and wealth and abundance and success in your business and the love of your life and all the great things that you want, when you get to the place where you believe that it is the desire of omnipotence, like God, for complete expression, that's what's wanting you to have all those things, then your faith becomes invincible. And when your faith becomes invincible, you have no problems asking for the big things that you want in life. Thanks, Donna. I love Rumi. Ask largely, right? Yes, that's what this is all about, is really having the confidence and the courage to ask. So today I want to inspire you, if you would, and I want to ask all of you that are watching, what is your part when it comes to asking? If you now believe and you have the confidence that it's okay to ask largely, then what is your part in this equation? I'm going to tell you what it is. Your part is to intelligently formulate your desire in a coherent statement, is what the book says, right? And I'm just paraphrasing here, but I'm going to tell you in my terms. And it says, like, if you're following a formula, step number 1 would be to connect with what it is that you want to ask for. And step number 2 would be to just ask, right? So the number 1 success tool that I have is I have no problem asking for the things that I want in my business. And I want to encourage you this Monday morning, as you step into this week, to really get and tap into what is it that you want to ask for. And here is the thing, right? I have all kinds of fun ways that I ask. I want to share with you something that's very intimate to me, that I'm going to share with our community and our family that watches with us every Monday morning, because I'm about to ask in a big way. And I didn't want to do this just on my own in my office. I wanted to share what this looks like with you so that you can see a couple different ways that you can start asking. So several of you know about my money jar, right? I tell people that I keep this container on the desk in my office, and this is meant for every time I find money. So a penny, when I find a penny, I get all excited as if the universe just said, here you go, girl, $1 million, it's on its way. So a penny for me is $1 million, right? I got quarters in here, that's 25 million. But recently I was doing another Facebook Live with someone, and I came to the awareness that this jar has sat on my desk, this container has sat on my desk for about 2 years now. And as you can see, it's full to the brim. And I looked at that and I realized, oh my God, everything that I've asked for has manifested. My container is full. So I need to ask again. And what I'm going to do now in asking, and I wanted to share this with you guys, what I want to do now is I'm going to, I'd say maybe this is 5 times actually, my container. I am getting ready to receive in a a much bigger way than I ever have. And I'm not only going to 5 times the container I have to receive when I ask. In other words, I'm saying, in the next 2 years, I want what was in this container to grow 5 times. So let this be equivalent to financial abundance, well-being, prosperity, more clients to serve, the expansion of my business. I let this be the equivalent of that. And I'm saying, I want 5 times that amount. And so here we go. Look at that. I am so excited. In the next 2 years, I'm going to have 5 times the amount of success that I have today. And I know that that's coming because this energetically represents my container. It's enlarged. And so I want to encourage you guys, look at how simple and fun that is. This is an expression of asking, right? This simple act is a big expression of asking. Now I'm going to tell you what's going to happen after doing this. I am going to start finding money, like $bazillion is going to fill this whole container, because in essence, I've said I'm ready to receive more. So that's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to think of, in your own fun way, how can you start asking for what you want? Another thing that I do is I journal, and I encourage everyone in our community. We literally get paper and pen and we write out what it is that we want to create. Now, what does that look like? We had, those of you that are in our group, the Science of Getting Rich Academy, you'll see Science of Getting Rich Academy group that Tama, who is in our program, she posted in there over the weekend that she journaled last week that all the appliances in her store on the floor would be sold. Now, she just asked. It sounded crazy and wild, right? Like, okay, I've been in business for this long time and that's never happened, but hey, I'm gonna ask. So she asked. The other thing she said when she asked was, I want exposure for my business. I want a lot of people in my community to know that I'm here. Well, it doesn't get any better than a TV station, right, coming in or meeting up with her, I'm not sure exactly how it happened, and saying, we want to feature your store, we want to feature your business. And yes, all of the appliances on her floor sold. So, I mean, it sounds crazy. Another example I had was on Friday, I spoke to Natalie. Like at 10:45, she posted in our group. We had a conversation and she said, I recognize that the thing I need to ask for is I need to be around influencers. I need to find a way to feel comfortable meeting people that are wealthier than me, more connected than me, smarter than me. And I said, well, just ask. She said, tell me how to journal that. And I walked her through it. And I think it was 2:30 or 2:45, she posted in our group, oh my God, I just met the mayor of Miami. Like literally within hours. That's how quickly this can work. But the step number 1 is you have to have the confidence that everything that you choose to ask for is already waiting to come to you. It literally just needs you to activate the process by asking. It's like, here is this thing that you want, but if you don't ask to receive it, you can't. Now, I want to give you another example of the power of asking, and as it relates to business. So many times there are things that we want, and we know that talking to that person would create the result, or asking for that opportunity would create the result. But for whatever reason, we don't just say it, just ask, right? I want you to know, and again, this is just to soothe any fears that you might have, that the universe always only answers one of 3 things. It always says yes, not now, or something better. But the answer is never, no, you can't have what you want. That's never the answer. It's always yes, not now, or something better. And so you have to start to look at life when you ask for things and look at which answer you got. Because for me, the majority of the time, it's yes or something better, right? So I have so much confidence in asking, and that's what I want you guys to do too. So speaking of asking, I had an opportunity. I was invited to an event, and I was invited to attend the event, and I knew this event would be filled with my people. And so instead of just signing up for the event, I actually asked, and I said, would I be able to speak at this event? And the person hosting the event said, well, let me see, I think I can move some things around. I wasn't scheduled to be on this agenda at all, but I simply asked because I already knew this would be a great opportunity for me to get my people to know I exist, know what I do, and fall in love with me, right? So I asked, and she said, I can give you 15 minutes. In the entire day's agenda, I can give you 15 minutes. And I said, okay, I'll take 15 minutes. So I got up and I spoke for 15 minutes. Now I want you to know I was driving home that day thinking, I'm not really sure what that was all about because really nothing happened. I spoke for 15 minutes. I was done. A few people said, great job. The event was over and I drove back home an hour and a half. Now, not only did I drive an hour and a half, I stayed overnight, I did the whole thing, I spoke for my 15 minutes, but I just knew when I was given the opportunity to attend, I just had that discernment, that like inkling, ask to speak. So I want you to acknowledge when you have a desire to do something and it's like you have this intuition that you should ask for something, whether you ask another person, whether you journal, whether you create a container, whatever it might be, ask for what you want. By asking to speak for 15 minutes, less than 30 days later, because I was at that event, I created $48,000 in revenue for my business. 15 minutes, $48,000, all because I asked to speak. So I want you, hopefully I've given you enough inspiration to boldly ask this week. I want you to post in the comments because you know what I do. I run out of here, I take my kid to school, I come back and I sit and I literally obsess over all of your comments for the next hour and a half. And I energetically match everything that you all post. So what is it that you need to ask for this week, for this month, for this year? I want you to go ahead and have the courage this morning to ask. I want you to post it in the comments. I want to see it. You know, I'm going to like, I'm going to respond. I'm going to say, I got you. I'm intending with you. Whatever it is. Thank you, LaRonda. Boldly ask. I will. Yes. Literally, nothing happens until you activate your free will by saying, here is what I want. Judith, I love it. I have courage, confidence, and clarity to ask. Thanks, Fran. I love this program. Christy says, I'm asking for confidence and to release fears. Absolutely. We don't have to do this all on our own. I did tell you, we create this success in an easy and relaxed manner. And to me, there's nothing easier than asking for what I want. And what's beautiful is I understand that I activate the process simply by asking. I'm going to tell you the way I live. 50, 60, 70% of the times, the thing that happens for me after I've asked, that's exactly what happens. It happens for me. I am placed in the right opportunity, the right person calls, the right next thing happens. But literally there is a force, obviously larger than me, that's saying, here, sweet child, here you go. Here is what you asked for. So go ahead. I'm going to come back. I love that, Lori. Ask and it shall be given. I really am coming back this morning to read through the comments to see what you had the courage to ask for. And then next week, we're going to have a special guest who's going to share how her life totally transformed in 14 days. If you think it takes a long time for this stuff to work, like literally I'm going to ask her to be courageous enough to share the truth of where she was, the fears that she had, the limiting thoughts that were gripping her life and what she was about to do in response to that, and then how she began to ask. And in 14 days, the 360-degree turn around in her life, because why I get on here every morning, I want every single person that watches, that shares, that views it, that hears about it, whatever, I want you all through our lives, my story, the story of the people in our community, to be inspired to live your own lives of success and manifesting like the master of all masters of manifesting, right? So, have a great Monday. Sorry about the technical stuff that happened this morning. Hopefully we'll get it figured out for next week. But thank you for your patience and for being here. Go ahead. Can you share and invite your friends to watch this so that as you're succeeding, they're succeeding too. I love you, and I can't wait to come back and read all of your comments and stand in support of all of you. Have a great Monday, everyone. Bye-bye.